Every South African knows that the best projects start with a visit to Builder's Warehouse. Hi everybody, my name's Wayne and today I'm going to make a set of trestles. If you're like me, living in a modern house, you've got a double garage, maybe even a single, it's not quite big enough to have proper workspace as well as park the cars inside. I like to do both. In order to do that, I work on a set of trestles with a piece of plywood top as my work surface. My challenge is that I'm quite a tall guy, and the trestles that you can buy straight off the shelf at Builder's Warehouse are a little too short for me. They extend to around 600 millimeters in height. I need them to be around 900 millimeters in height. So today I'm going to make a set that fulfills my needs. Stick around, I'll show you how. The first step is to measure out the length of the legs that you're looking for. I'm going to measure here at 980 millimeters. Make a pencil mark and come back with a combination square and draw a straight line. I'm going to cut these pieces with my miter box and a handsaw because I don't have a miter saw. I've got a circular saw, I've got a jigsaw. Both of those will work, but for cuts like this I feel I get a better result out of a handsaw and a miter box. I also find that I get more accurate, more repeatable cuts if I cut the first piece, then measure the next, measure the next. So let's get started. I'm going to start off by putting my workpiece into my miter box that is screwed to the work surface so that it's nice and stable. I'm just going to clamp it down with some quick clamps over here. Keep the work surface workpiece nice and level and stable, and then we get cutting. Let's go for the first cut. Simple process. Select your vertical slot in your miter box and get going. Adjustment on the clamp and we are there for away. First leg cut. Now all you got to do is repeat it. Cut 4 legs for each trestle and 2 slightly shorter cross members, 4 slightly shorter cross members for each trestle, and you are good to go. Right. Pretty simple from here on. Just repeating the process. Not going to bore you with that. I'm going to start off by laying out one section at a time, one side at a time, and to do that, all you got to do is take your pieces, line them up, make sure it's all nice and square. You can do that either with a speed square like this, or a combination square, or even one of the great big rafter squares. Anything really can be used, but you just want to get it so that your pieces line up. So I'm going to start off with the first one and pre-drill and countersink some holes and drive a couple of 4mm screws in. Let's get back here with the speed square. Yeah, that lines up. I'm going to stick the first hole just in from the top top outside corner, give it a drill. It's nice and neat. We're going to repeat the process on the other side. Now we've got those first two screws in the top cross brace in. Now we're going to bring in the bottom end, and we'll make sure this is nice and straight. I'm just going to measure up about 300 mils from the bottom, and that should suffice as our for our bottom cross member. And let's do it again on this side. 300. Strike a line across both ends. Okay, so now you've got two identical pieces. What you want to do is you want to lay them out, because now we are going to attach the hinges. Now, line them up. Grab your pack of hinges, slip them open. I've lined them up around 15 millimeters from the edge. For them to be reasonably close to the edge, so that I can drive a longer screw into both top and bottom piece, just for at least two of the screws on each side of the hinge, just for a bit of added security, added strength. So I'm going to get started with that. There we go, first one in, and for the next one. Now you may have heard that slight sort of grinding noise almost. It's not the screw head stripping. It's just the clutch on the drilling machine releasing a little bit, so that we don't over tighten the screws and snap the heads off. Alrighty, let's carry on. When it comes to sanding with a power sander, it's always best to use a dust mask of sorts. I've got one with replaceable filters. Use ear protectors, and I prefer to use gloves. It just helps with the vibration a little bit. So we're going to start off by threading the rope through the holes we drilled a little earlier. Now we need to just check the height that we want to come in at. That's giving us 940. It's a good height for me. Let's tie a nice knot on the end over here. I'm going to make it okay, I'm just going to cut off some of the excess, leaving some extra, because I want to double up the size of this knot on this side, and we'll get across to the other end. Knot's doubled up in size. It's not gonna go anywhere. The easiest way to make sure that you got the ropes at the right length is, let's just measure between these two supports. Stretch it out a bit, let's see. Yeah, pretty much perfect. Let's get this next knot over and we are done. Let's have a look, see. Good to go. Now, on to the next one. It's same process again. We'll see you in a few. For around 2 hours worth of work and roughly 500 to 600 rands worth of with materials, depending on the hardware that you choose, you can come up with a set of trestles, also known as sawhorses in certain environments, that meet your requirements. Yeah, okay. They might not be the prettiest, but they suit my needs. They are by no means any cheaper than pine trestles that you can buy from Builder's Warehouse. Cost turns out around about the same, but these meet my requirements. The standard ones that you can buy are simply too small. This was an easy Saturday afternoon project. Just about anybody can do it, as long as you've got a saw of some sorts, whether it's a coping saw, a jigsaw, circular saw, miter saw, or a back saw and a miter box. You can make these. Next you need a drilling machine and a screwdriver, or a screwdriver attachment for your drilling machine. This is it from my side, and thank you for joining me. Hope to see you soon. Thank you. Bye-bye. I almost forgot the somewhat obligatory weight-bearing test. Well, I weigh a little over 100 kilos, and this isn't going anywhere. Thanks for joining me. Till next time. Bye-bye.